Hello, everybody. Welcome back, and this is another episode of She Said, He Said. I'm your host, Rob, and once again, we got the A1 from day one, super duper. Well, y'all not even guess. Y'all not guessing anymore. Welcome, family of the show, Nika and Wes. Hello.
Hey,
Hey.
what's going on?
I've been dying to do this topic with them because they actually brought it up. It's their topic, and
Wes brought it up.
Okay, Wes brought it up, and I can go back and listen to the footage. Anyway, it came from them, and the topic is: in a relationship, should you have to share everything? Nika, you just you ready to fire off, so I'm just gonna let you go.
No, I mean, okay, so just to address your question head on, do I think you should have to share everything in your relationship?
Wait, because there's levels. I mean, a relationship versus a marriage is different. To me, it's different.
Yeah.
Boyfriend,
but
girl.
Doesn't the point in being in a relationship is to get to the point where you're married? So should you not take the same principles that you have or you want in a marriage and put it into your relationship?
I had a friend tell me, Robbie, part of your problem is you were playing married. I'm looking at that friend right now that said that to me.
But okay, I believe I have said that on several occasions. Because I'm a firm believer of if you're playing married to someone who's not playing married back, like you're not on the same page in your relationship, then you are wasting your time. Like you're not going to have the same, like if we're in a relationship and we're just smooching booties per se, then am I going to share with you? No, I'm not going to share everything with you. We're not even serious. But if we're in a relationship and I feel like, we gotten to the point where we could move forward and this could potentially be more, then I need to go ahead and start showing you that I could be more than just a weekend fling or, I could be more than a girlfriend. I could be more than a friend. I can be your mate. I can be your support. I can be your wife or spouse or, whatever the future is. I don't think you should you're not going to start doing these things when you get married. So if you're on the same page and you're working towards the same goal as far as your relationship, then you should be putting into practice the things you're going to do in your marriage. So as a married person, you should be sharing stuff.
No, everything.
You should be sharing. When you get to the point in your dating relationship, you should go ahead and start sharing. It shouldn't be an issue. I mean, why we can't share? Why I can't come over and get that piece of meat off your plate?
No.
You didn't ask.
All
right, wait. Let me. I gotta hit the brakes a little bit. I think there is a clear distinction between a marriage and a relationship. And this dude's calling me now. Overall, I think in a relationship, you should share. I think you should share the pertinent stuff, like information and things like that. But in a marriage, I think it shifts. In a marriage, you got to be. That's a tough question. I don't know if I want to share everything. I don't think I would, to be honest with you, because I know me.
Well, think about it this way. Would you want her to withhold information from you?
Not information. I'm not talking about information.
No,
I'm more talking about tangible things.
Material, yeah.
Because my last girlfriend, hell, she was like a dependent on a couple of my insurances, like one of three. Like that was that serious. Like she knew everything I had going on. She knew financial information, stuff like that. But when it came to like tangible items, I'm stingy sometimes. But go ahead with your point. I'll wait till my turn.
Sure.
Well, I think some things, I understand if it's okay, if this is mine, then that's yours. Everybody has to have their thing. You know what I'm saying? Like Wes, he has his thing. I try not to interfere with his thing because that's what he do. And the same with me. We have our own thing. But then when it comes to like food and clothes, why I can't walk around in your sweatpants?
Because it's mine.
Why? That's just selfish. Why I can't have none of your gummy bears? That shrimp ain't gonna kill you if you give it to me.
Hey.
It's just, see, that's type of stuff. You know,
you
come
sound
on
really
now.
bothered. So you feel like you should just have free reign to totally be able to access his food and clothing items without having to ask of.
Correct. I do. I think there's a certain level of you respect certain aspects of your mate's, personal. You have to have a certain level of respect. But shrimp and chicken wings and gummy bears and your sweatshirt and your sweatpants. Why I gotta be asking you permission?
Because it's mine.
We are one flesh.
See.
Yeah, but
go ahead.
Okay, so I don't have a problem, but you know what the problem with that is to me? It can't be. It's not a two-way street. I can't borrow.
You can if you wanted to.
But why would I want to?
Was not my fault you don't want to borrow my stuff.
Oh my goodness. I'm not wearing no lady stuff.
Word. We can.
Well, if you wanted to borrow like my deodorant or lotion or something like that, I would share.
That's different. We're talking about items of clothing.
We was talking about gummy bears, and you to have a fit about
gummy
that.
Bears. Now, all right, that's my thing. I will buy you a pack gladly. I will order more shrimp so you can have it, but you just don't share that. No. My kids don't even get my gummy bears. I'm like, nah, I'll buy y'all some other candy. You ain't get my gummy bears.
You see how he treat us, Rob? He wouldn't even split that gummy bear into 4 equal parts if it meant our life.
Well, the last time you ate gummy bears, you almost died. So I think he's trying to save you. I actually think he's trying to save your life. But it's a tough here. This is why this is complicated for me, from my past experience. Some people do it not because it's who they are, but they do it because, oh, now I have this relationship status. Let me take advantage of being at this status. Yeah. That pisses me off to no end. I went through that because, like, well, we together. So I'm like, no, before we got to this level. Right. You didn't do that before. That's not part of your character. That's not who you are. But now you feel like because you got a quote unquote title that we've grown closer, you want to start doing stuff out of pocket. And it, like brother-in-law said, it's most of the time it is not a two-way street, because you can even look at them directly like, if I did that to you, how'd you feel? And you get the dumb face because you don't want me to do that to you. I do feel like you should be more open to sharing, but I do still feel like being asked is nice. Like one time my ex-girlfriend, I forgot what I think Joe was in town, but I have a really bad sweet tooth, and I was like, I just want something sweet, and she was going out, and I was like, yo, bring me back like a Slurpee from the gas station. So she brought a Slurpee and like 2 ice cream sandwiches or something. She's like, I brought you this. I was like, an ice cream sandwich? Would you think I'm 88? So I made a joke, but I was like, cool. I was like, I'm gonna eat it later. Thank you, right? Yo, so I was like, cool. You know what I mean? Thank you. So you bought me an ice cream sandwich. The next morning, I left out to go to work, and I forgot. I got like 5 minutes away from the house. I was like, shoot, I forgot something. I go back, and so as out of common courtesy, I wanted to walk in the bedroom, not so she would know that it's me, not someone breaking in the house. This mug is laying in the bed eating the ice cream sandwich she bought for me, and she just froze. Like, she was eating it, and when I opened the door, she was like, and she looked at me and she was like, I'm sorry, baby, I was so hungry. This is 8 o'clock in the morning.
No, she not hungry. She bought that for herself, and she knew you didn't want it.
Exactly.
So now she's taking advantage of eating it.
Well, no, it's not that I didn't want it at the time. I would have eaten it. But my thing is this: if I would have did that to her, she would have been so upset. So I think if it's a true share, and not really I just want to see if he gonna share with me. Don't test me.
Yeah. That's not. Yeah, don't test
Nika,
me.
You look
me
like
to see
you do
how
that.
Selfish I am. Let me do that.
Well, I know Wes isn't gonna share, so I just get it.
See, that's a problem. That is a problem.
Yeah,
it's not a problem.
I disagree with that.
We're together in this together.
Now you trespassing the boundaries I set up.
What boundaries you set up?
You already know I'm not ready to share yet, so you gonna take over anyway. Now on serious things, like let's say there was an issue where, like my car, for example, her car, she couldn't use it. That's now that, like, you automatically can step in with, um, your your natural instinct.
Mhm.
She needs a car. Sure. Now, don't just don't leave me stranded. I come out to go to work and my car is going, and we gotta have some kind of communication, understanding before that.
Right.
Like, yeah, you're good. I know you need it. I'm willing, but we gotta work this out. Now with Nika, of course, I don't have that problem, but I have seen where we would have issues. I've seen people with issues like that. I mean, did you communicate that, or did you just take his car and leave him stranded for work? Oh, I forgot you. I mean, come on, really? So, that's a little different when it comes to big ticket items or things like that. Just communicate, so that way the asking is out of the least common courtesy. Out of the least, you got to communicate that.
So I feel totally different. We're not sharing my car. Like, I'll buy you your own car. If something wrong with your car, we'll get your car fixed. Whatever. But we're not sharing my car.
So apparently,
wait, he can't drive your car? He can't drive.
If I'm in it.
So he can't drive your car without you in it.
But he has his own car, so
you're
why
not
you need to drive my
You're
car?
not answering the question.
Yeah, you missed the point. What was the scenario?
If it's absolutely convenient for you to drive my car for a very short period of time.
It's not convenient. You missed the whole scenario.
I didn't miss the scenario. If something's wrong, if your car is down, then my rebuttal to that was I will pay to get your car fixed. Before I sit up here, we'll pay to get your car fixed. We'll get you a rental in the meantime.
You would rather get him a rental. You would rather put his car in the shop for whoever knows how long it takes, and then get him a rental before you let him drive your car.
We have gone down to one car before, and it was beyond frustrating for me. For me, it was beyond frustrating. Wes is just like, whatever. And I'm like, no. Before I do that again, we'll put your car in the shop. We'll get it fixed. We'll turn around and get you a rental in the meantime. But I know that's something that I know that's something that's going to frustrate me to no end. Because when I'm ready to go and I'm ready to make moves and I got to do this and I got to do that, I'm not about to be calling and waiting around and looking for you to bring me my car back. And no, that's an inconvenience.
You know what,
so at least, hey, I'm all about gummy bears. I'll let her have my car, but you see, here lies the issue. You see what I'm saying?
No.
Why? And that, nope.
She can have my car anytime she needs it.
Right. So, Nika, you're saying the same thing that he said about the gummy bears. You just don't see it from his perspective because to you, it's a gummy bear. Oh, it's a gummy bear.
It's the same. It's
the same emotions.
Nothing.
It's still the same emotions and feelings involved, though.
But there's certain things that are just considered frivolous and ridiculous. Like,
so
you're not gonna
in actuality,
a gummy bear for me.
In actuality, you don't believe y'all should have to share everything then, because that car, I ain't seen you light up like that since '88. So you felt the type of way about that.
I think the car is different because that's based on experience, though. Like that's based on experience that did not work. That was a situation that did not work.
It worked just fine. It was an inconvenience, but it worked just fine.
It just did like not it's an work. Inconvenience if your sweet tooth kicks in.
You got to work. It was good for a temporary short period of time.
Robbie, ask him what he ended up doing.
What'd you end up doing?
Get my brother-in-law's car.
So it did not work.
No, it worked. That happened to work out. I didn't beg him for his car. I didn't go to him and be like, "Hey, can I get your car? Please, can I get your car?" Because Nika, she's tired
I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
No, I'm talking about before that. Before you actually got, Dee's car. Before that, what were you doing?
Right with you.
No. Tell it, brother. Robbie, in between it, when it was not working, he went and got his mom.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so it was not practical. It was not functional. It was not working for us to share in that capacity one vehicle.
But you know why I got my mom, right?
And so he went and got his mom's car.
Because I didn't want to frustrate her. I was like, well, this is so much easier. Since she don't want me to use her car.
There it is. Bang.
I detected that. So I was like, but you know what I'm saying? It worked out. And in a way, I was being unselfish. because I knew it would inconvenience her.
Mm-hmm. Very true. Very true. Yeah. They're parenting right now. But I feel where both of them are coming from. That can be very very frustrating when it comes down to particular items. So I think that there needs to be a discussion. I'm like that before we even get too deep. I'm like, look, these are my things. You can't, like me, it's my video games. Like, I don't care if you play my Xbox. 1, don't use my profile. 2, my ex used to do that because she played a little bit. Sometimes I come home, I'm like, yo, like, you playing my profile? Because I'm particular. Like, I want to, go through my game at my pace. And it's like, you beat 2 levels for me. Like, what are you doing? Used to make me mad. So, yeah, I think it's important to set the boundary ahead of time. But yeah, sharing everything, I feel like the option should be a bit more open. But nah, I can't. I don't think I can share everything. I think I'm too selfish for that.
I do agree that. Whereas, like, realistically, I do feel like we should, as a couple, moving into a direction where we're trying to become one, whether it's we're dating and we've gotten more serious, or you're my fiance and we're getting ready to get married, or if we're a married couple. I do feel like there are a lot of things that maybe when you first get into your relationship, you're like, all right, this is off limits, you ain't there yet, we ain't on this level yet, you can't talk to this, you can't touch this, we put those boundaries in place because we really don't want to share that aspect of our life with that individual yet. But as we move forward and we start to congeal, as a unit, then it's like, I think some of these things should be coming off the table as off limit. We 4 years in the game, we've been together almost since my kindergarten graduation, and you act like you can share those gummy bears with me. I just feel like, at what point in time are we going to move beyond the gummy bears? It just shows, to me, it shows the growth in relationship, because eventually you get to the point where everything is open for each other.
Yeah, I mean,
you know what? Wait, hold that thought. We're gonna get a quick word from our sponsors. Don't go anywhere, you guys. She said, he said. All right, we're back. Nika's still complaining about not brother-in-law sharing the gummy bears. And I know some people are listening like, oh my gosh, that's childish. But yo, like, people, it goes back to what Nika said. The experience, man. You just have experiences with things, man. Like, I used to be very open. I was too nice. Nika will tell you. I was like, I could never say no. And people will take advantage. People will do stuff that they don't even normally do and go out of their way just because they have access to certain things. And here's one thing that I hate about sharing too. I'm particular. Like, my games are in alphabetical order. Like, I'm that anal because I have so many that keeping them in alphabetical order helps, because if something's missing, I'll know immediately. Because I'm like, wait, this ain't, I'll know if you touched it, because most people don't do that. And I hate when people use my stuff and don't put it back.
And don't take care of it.
Matter of fact, I need to call her. She still got my P90X DVDs. That joint was like $120, yo. Can I borrow these too? Sure. Never saw them again.
Oh yeah.
So, let's get off of the tangible things. Now, the important things: financial information, crazy cousin Pookie from up the block. You also inherit some things that you might not necessarily want to share, like family. Ooh, that'd be the worst. That'd be the worst. But when do y'all think y'all are married? So when did you all start the whole financial sharing? Did y'all share numbers?
What numbers?
Like what y'all make, bills, all that stuff, credit score?
Nah.
Well,
I don't think that started until after.
I don't know, because we were friends. We were really good friends before we started dating. And so I guess just in leisure conversation, we would express, we'd talk about, not necessarily figures, but you knew I worked for myself. I had my own business. He could tell that I was taking care of myself and my kids. just like I could tell that he was taking care of himself. He had his own place. Da da da. So I mean, I guess we didn't say, hey, I made $42,000 a year. We didn't say that, but we knew of, based on experiences, man, they ain't give us a bonus this year, this month, or I didn't get my bump in pay. We kind of knew what each other's financial statuses was, and I don't think we got really specific until after we got married and we started filing our taxes together.
Yeah.
Then
And
it was like, oh, what you making at the end of the year? I mean, I think that's when we got really specific, when we started filing taxes together, because we, up until that, I mean,
it wasn't really relevant. And to be honest, like my personality, I know I'm a private person. So like I didn't even tell people at my job, like certain people, oh, I make enough. It wasn't even their business. Like I was real private. Not that I had anything to hide, but I was always a private person. But when we got married, it was like, oh, we need your bank statements, blah blah blah. I was like, oh, okay. Like it wasn't a burden. It was like, oh, okay. I mean, you're gonna need it anyway. We in this to win this. So I mean, what you need to see? You see how broke I am,
That's interesting. I did that in my last relationship, which obviously ended. We shared like our paycheck. Like, this is what I make, this is what you make, because we wanted to be quote unquote fair with the bills. So those of you out there listening, Susie Orman has this wonderful bill calculator system. I love it because it's fair, and basically it calculates what percentage of your pay should go towards the bills, because 50-50 isn't fair. If you make $30,000 and I make $70,000 a year, it's not fair to the person making less, because you're giving up a larger percentage of your salary than I am. So we did that because she made more than me. She made a lot more than me, and it actually helped. And money was never an issue, and that there was never an argument, because you knew what time it was, And she knew what bills I had personally, and I knew what bills she had personally, and then we had our joint bills. We had a joint bank account too.
Wow.
Yeah, we had I was serious. We were serious. Because I mean, I lived with her, so I mean,
I think that's a topic for another day, because Wes and I are married and we don't even have joint bank account.
Well, no, listen, our joint bank account was just for our portion of the bills, like mortgage, cable, stuff like that, and then whatever her monthly amount she was supposed to put in, she put in every month. Whatever monthly amount I was supposed to put in, we put in, and it went toward bills, and that's it. It was auto pay. She snuck me too, because one month she was like, oh, I want to buy something for the front of the house and do this, and I was like, well, how much we got to put in? Oh, there's extra money in the bill account. Wait, how you know? How's there extra money? We calculated this, because it wasn't no little bit of money we spent at Lowe's hauling them rocks. But anyway, she owed me $5. Yeah, so it wasn't like that, was just bill money, so there was no reason to fight over anything or cause an argument, because we got to pay the bills. So we just kept it there, instead of, okay, the cable bill's due, okay, write me a check for $30, I pay it, or you write me a check for $40, I pay it. It was just easier to do a joint bank account. Y'all don't have a joint account? Y'all whack. What? Why not?
I mean,
experience.
More her end, of course.
Yeah, my experience. Now, okay, so
I know.
Okay, because we're purchasing a home. Like, we for big purchases, it's better to see both of our names on the account, so they can kind of say, oh, well, together you guys, have this much money in your accounts or whatever. So I mean, just so that we can clear the paperwork. My name. Well, no.
No, my name is on.
His name is on one of my major accounts. So, I mean, together we have like 7 or 8 different bank accounts.
Yeah.
And so.
Poor people, you gotta spread your money around.
We gotta keep our money going around.
I got 2, but go ahead, Jesus.
But so for paper purposes, he has his name under one of our accounts. But even when we were at the bank and we were getting that squared away, just for the sake of being able to show that, the accounting for our paperwork, I was like, yeah, you put his name on there. I don't want him to have a debit card. I don't want him to have,
you can just
debit card.
Imagine. You can just imagine how trifling that sounded at the bank. Now she's better be glad I didn't take offense to
Would
that.
you like to do a login? But we talked about this before.
We did, but,
yeah. So
but
he
still,
wasn't
the way
offended.
she said it,
I didn't say it in
still
front of the
sounds
bank
trifling.
lady. I didn't say it in front of the bank lady. But when we, the lady's like, oh, okay, so I'm going to send you out a debit card, blah, 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 blah. And I'm going to make sure that you have access, online access to the account and da, 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 da. And I just gave him that look like, we talked about this, it was that I just gave him the look and he already knew. So when we got in the car, I was like, so, I don't want you to have access to the account like that. And he's like, yeah, we talked about it. If you don't want that, then, when it come in.
I was like, I don't want your money anyway.
Oh, you want my money.
Girl, please.
He wanted you and he got you. This smug talking about. Wow. Okay. That's very, very interesting. And I guess a joint account isn't necessary. I don't know how it works when you're married, but y'all do need to have each other's names on your accounts in case something happens. You do need that, even if it's you don't have access. Those of you who are listening, you need to do that, because I experienced that when my dad passed. She was like, well, I probably shouldn't say this, but I'm gonna say it. She was like, me and my dad had the same name, so I kind of let's put it this way, I got away with it because me and my dad had the same name. But she was like, yeah, in the future, she looked at my mom and was like, if his name isn't on your bank account now, you need to put him on there, because if not, the bank is like, sorry. That's the thing, which I think is whack. But
I think I remember the bank having that as the issues that happened with my grandmother and my grandfather. My grandfather had like an influx of money coming in from taxes and a couple of other things, like days before he passed away. And my grandmother was not on his account. And so all this money is tied up in his bank account that she can't even access. But I believe now, you don't necessarily have to have the name on the account, but you can have it added as like a beneficiary if somebody or something happens to the primary account holder. And so that way the money in the account doesn't get tied up with the bank, if the individual passes away. But I guess that's another thing that we don't share.
What?
Maybe I have to take back my statement earlier.
What's another thing y'all don't? Oh yeah, what, the bank account?
We don't share bank accounts. These are big ticket things, though. Bank accounts, cars.
The big ticket things are the things that you should be gaining the access to.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Dang, we done changed your mind.
I think that comes with trust. Like, I think it comes with trust. Like, I know I don't have to. When it comes to the bank account, issue, I don't have a trust issue with him when it comes with money. So I don't feel like I don't feel like it's an issue for us not to be in each other's bank accounts. You know?
And then like if she needs to go to the store, like get groceries or something, she's like, I just give her the card. Like it's whatever.
You give her your card.
Yeah.
So she has usage and access to your bank account. Now, if you get ready to go to the store, will she hand over her card to you?
Not at all. Yeah, she does. I still got her card. I still got her card.
You still got my card, right?
I was about to cut this show off. I was going to be like, Nika, Yo, but some people be like that. At the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen, don't do, what can I say? If you're not willing to share it, then don't share. Like, you know what I mean? If you know you don't want him reaching over to your plate eating a chicken wing, don't reach over his plate, because a lot of people interpret that as, oh, that's cool, so I'm gonna do that. So I'm going back. Right. I wanted to go back to something petty. What was I about to say? Oh, here's another thing with the little pettiness. Matter of fact, let's go ahead and do this last commercial break, and then we'll be right back. She said, he said, don't go anywhere. All right. Sorry, y'all. Well, not sorry. I hope you enjoyed that commercial. We back. Here's what I was gonna say. Specifically to Nika. When it comes to the gummy bears and things of that nature, do you replace the items?
No.
Judging by that blank stare and that facial expression, no. See, that I see why he don't share with you then. I wouldn't either.
Why I gotta replace your gummy bear? Okay, wait a minute.
If we can share the benefits, we should be able to share the expense.
I get you. So I might not. You're right. I don't replace his gummy bears. However, if I'm out in a store shopping, getting groceries and stuff, will I not?
She
Oh,
buy
I
him a bag.
might pick
That's
him
true,
up a
though.
couple of
Okay.
packs of
That's-
gummy bears.
Okay, that
'cause I
works.
know
Very
that's
true.
Well, then you
That's
replace
very
them.
so it's not like a replacement. Like, oh, I ate your last gummy bears and I'm about to run to the store and get you some more. No, but he doesn't always have to buy the things that he like. If I'm out and about in a store and I know this is something that he likes, then I'll pick up a few and just have it waiting on him when he get home.
That's
Well,
true.
you do replace it in a sense. You do replace it then, because some people they tear your stuff up, and then if you don't buy no more, ain't no more.
Yeah.
And I think that's really whack and really corny. Wow. Speaking of share everything, once again, how can I go about this?
Uh-oh.
No, I'm thinking because it's been a while since I've talked to someone seriously, and I'm very upfront. Do y'all have, or did y'all share any deep dark secrets with each other?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
What was a trigger? Was it a question, or was it like, I just want to talk to you about this, and you just shared?
The combination, wasn't it?
I don't know. I think it was like the timing, because we got to a point in our relationship where we're like, okay, well, we know we're gonna move forward.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was just a matter of, all right, well, in order to move forward, I need to reveal some things about myself and about my past, just to make sure that he's comfortable with it before we, continue along in this relationship. It's not like a test, but it was like, okay, well, we're getting a little bit more serious. I can open up a little bit more. I think it was just the timing. Like we were camping. We went camping.
Aww.
And we were just in casual conversation. Well, we camp twice a year, and so he joined us that particular time. And we were just in casual conversation around a campfire, just talking. And I think it just kind of came up. The timing was right. It wasn't a question and answer.
Yeah,
it was just like,
it
kind of leisurely came up in a conversation. I think I was able to just kind of bring it into the conversation. And I think that was the same with him. He was able to bring some things in about his family that I needed to be aware of just by means of conversation. So it's definitely important to share those. I don't think that's something that you should wait until after you get married.
Yeah.
I don't think it's something that you should wait until you absolutely have to tell somebody. Like, surprises don't work well for me. Like, just be upfront. This is something that I've had in the past. It's something I dealt with. This is something I know may come up in the future. Just go ahead and lay it out once you get to the point where you feel like you can trust that person. Like I said, I think timing is important, because you don't want to do it prematurely, because you're going to run a person away.
Mm-hmm.
And then you don't want to do it too late, because it's like, I kind of already figured that out. I was just waiting. You don't want them to figure something out and be waiting on you to tell them about it.
And this is funny, but it's not funny. Write down and make a record of when you told the person, because it will be an issue if you bring it up later and the person's like, if they told me this before, yes, I did.
Yo.
Yeah, so make sure you record it.
That's what's the solution for everything.
Yo, I'm
Bro.
so serious.
You remember back in September of 2013 when I had this conversation?
Because to be honest, like, and it's, it hasn't even been like serious situations, but we've had like arguments and disagreements where it was like, I told you this. No, you didn't. I know. And it was like, honestly, it's like my word against hers. And neither one of us can honestly verify that one said it. It's one versus the other. And you have no witness or no. So make a record, people. I tell you, make a record of when you say something important or you reveal something about your past. Put a date on it. Say what you said and say what they said. Straight up.
You all just gave the best answer that could ever be given, and it was truthful and it's honest, and I appreciate you, because though we joke around and we laugh on the show, we be dead serious. So some of you out there in your relationships, keep that in mind. And I'm just gonna say this from experience, ladies, don't be asking all them questions. Like, a lot of times y'all get disappointed because before you even get a chance to get to know someone, you ask all these questions and you want to know all these deep dark things about me after a week of meeting me, which I understand you want to know who you're dealing with, but let me show you who I am now, because my past experiences help mold and shape me into who I am now. So by that point, once you've given me an actual chance, then maybe you can receive my things differently. Because if you don't know me and I tell you everything about me, it's natural human what's the word? I don't even know.
Tendency.
Yeah, there you go. It's a natural human tendency to assume the worst. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna assume the worst because I haven't given myself a chance to get to know you. So I'm like, hey, you did what? Nah, you a hoe. You know what I'm saying? So that like the age old question. How many people did you sleep with? And no one ever believes me when I give my answer because they think my number is way too low. And I'm like, no, I just didn't hold myself out. So I'm automatically looked at, well, you're a Kappa, and what does that have to do with anything? It's my body, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I think you should just let the relationship develop, let it grow, and let things come up naturally in conversation. Now, there are some things you should let people know about, like if you have a child, you know what I'm saying, or things of that nature that people need to know going into a situation. I think that's important, but or basically things that you would want to know if the shoe was on the other foot. So.
I think there has to be like a level of maturity, because when you're going into new relationships, you don't want to carry over the tendencies from previous relationships where maybe you didn't realize that was inappropriate or out of line or it wasn't justified, it didn't work. And so like you mentioned, the age-old question, how many people have you been with? Why is that a relevant question in any relationship that you're in? That is not really a question that you truly want to know the answer to. Even if they tell you the truth, you're not going to believe that that's the truth. So why ask questions that you really don't want to know the answer to? That question is not relevant to your relationship. It's not pertinent to your relationship. None of that. Now, if you want to ask the question that on those lines that has any relevance to your relationship, it will be more or less, is there something that I need to know about your health? Is there something that you have that maybe I need to be concerned about moving forward in your relationship together? But as far as how many people you've been with, that doesn't matter. Like, I think it's important to share information when you're moving in a right direction, moving forward in your relationships, but you have to know what information you need to ask for. You need to know what information is pertinent to your relationship in order for you to share it.
Not just trivial information. I want to know, since I got this opportunity to ask you anything, let me just
what's the point? What's the point of you asking me? Please ask me that question so I can look at you like you stupid and give you a big random number, because I'm gonna tell you I've been with 73 people.
And here's what you set yourself up, like brother-in-law said and Nika just said, you set yourself up when you ask those dumb trivial questions, because most of y'all ask those dumb trivial questions you don't remember, and then you end up asking him again later, and then he gets annoyed, and you wonder why. You got something to hide? No, dummy. You already asked me this, and I answered it. You forgot. Now you asked me the same freaking question again. It was stupid then, and it's even dumber now.
Right.
So it's like a lot of people, and then that's not what you told me. Okay, you just said you don't remember what I told you. Then when I give you the answer again, now you're saying that's not the truth. So you don't believe it both times around. Yeah, people keep it consistent and keep it pertinent. Make sure it's important information. Need to know information. You know what I'm saying? And guys and girls, omission is still a form of non-truth. Like, I've had people ask, I had a friend ask a guy, do you have a girlfriend? He said no, but she found out later he was married. Well, you didn't ask me that. Really, bruh?
You want technical, really?
Yo, people who do it.
Man.
People are petty like that, and they do stuff like that. Don't be that person, guys.
Yeah, look, we teach our kids not to be petty like that. Like, look, if I ask you a question, you better not try to get technical on me, because I have this saying, and it's actually from a scripture. It's like, if I ask you to stop doing something, or ask you, did you do this? I also mean things like these. I'm not going to give you a whole list of everything. So don't try to give a loophole. Well, you didn't say this. No, you know things like these. What I just asked you and things related to it. similar to.
Yep.
So yeah, that's trivial.
Y'all stop being childish. All right.
Yeah, right.
I guess the moral of the story is share in moderation. We've all agreed to disagree. And you have to, I guess, if someone's willing to share or temporarily share or part of the time share something that you know is important to them that they wouldn't normally share, don't take advantage. Don't eat his gummy bears if you know it bothers him when you eat his gummy bears. Because ladies, I love you, but that shit ain't cute. It ain't cute. Y'all be laughing, but we be low-key mad. Like, you doing this to get on my nerves. I know, baby. No, I'm really pissed off at you. Don't do that. So, because y'all do that. Why do y'all do that? And guys, y'all do that too, man. Stop. Mm-hmm. So, thank you, everyone. Don't forget to subscribe to us on SoundCloud. If you're on YouTube listening to this, we're SoundCloud. She said, he said, 16. YouTube, we are blah, 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 because we don't have a URL. I forgot what you have to do to get a URL, so it's a bunch of It is. It's like ZYK4927Z. I'm like, YouTube, really get with the times and give these URLs out. So there's that, y'all. Don't forget to email us. She said, he said 16@gmail.com if you have topics or if you want to be a guest on the show, and join the Facebook group. We're the one with the pink and blue cloud that you see there now, and we will see y'all next time on She Said, He Said. Peace.
Bye.
Oh, and I ended the call.